Welcome to Avondale Sky Winery.
This is a story of risk, passion, and family. A story about rural life and community. A story about adapting to survive and learning to thrive. If you love wine, business, and the thrill of new ventures, then sit back and enjoy Avondale Sky Winery. This week we explore the wider community that has grown around the winery and experience the first major event for the exclusive Sky Club members. The surge of support for buying local has seen smaller businesses find new customer bases and unexpected growth. But it's not just about consumers, as the Avondale Sky team are making sure the old church building is a community focal point for lots of ventures. Carl talks us through some of the local art they showcase.
What we've got is we've got local artists doing local things. So some things are, like you say, there might be wharfs or waterfront pieces. We had a beautiful one of actually Halifax and the bridges that was here. But yeah, there's lighthouses, there's wharfs, there's one of the winery itself, there's one of the puppy, Vino, who's the mascot here at the winery. So they're done. We usually have 2 or 3 different local artists. So what they do is we allow them to put their stuff up here and we sort of sell it for them on consignment. And that allows them to get some exposure. Sometimes they'll come here and they'll even paint on site, which is kind of cool for people to see. But yeah, we try and support as much as possible. As one is sold, they usually have another one ready to put up.
This is all part of supporting the town they call home.
Both an advantage and sometimes could be viewed as a disadvantage, is we are not on the strip in Wolfville where there's 10 to 12 different wineries that you can hit in an hour. We are off the beaten path, but we are the only game in town as it represents a winery. So we try and make this more of a destination for the community. What else do we have in the community that's not necessarily a winery? So yeah, there's breweries. Yeah, there's restaurants. There's B&Bs. There's museums. There's a lot of history. There's a beautiful wharf. There's, a good sense of community. So to do that, we have to embrace that. And that includes putting things like the artwork, other crafts and things that local artists might be working on. We want to help promote them. We're not trying to make money off of it. We're trying to just bring more people here to the community. We try and make it, even with the tours and stuff, to try and how do we do more as a community to say, look, make Avondale maybe your first stop or your last stop, but there's lots of other things to see.
Sean leads the winery's restaurant, and making sure it has a truly local experience is vital.
We try and work with the farmers. We put a call out beginning of the year and use a lot of the farmers locally. But even before the day starts, a lot of our head chef, will go to the market, check out Noggins on the way here from Wolfville, and go to Olton's and grab some meat and whatever is along the way that we know is a good stop for fresh produce or the best of what it does. It's really nice to be able to use that, and it comes through in the taste of everything as well. But our chef is both our chef and sous chef were incredible for us this year. They're so dynamic, bringing in their culture and influences as well. Our sous chef Bach, who was from Vietnam, he was putting on stuffed chicken wings with a fish sauce caramel, which was incredible, and some Vietnamese pancakes, and just putting a lot of twists on stuff for specials. So every weekend we were doing something different, but keeping it local sourced, but then with a twist and trying to blow people's minds with some of the food that they were pumping out. Yeah.
And for Sean and Carl's dad, Louis, it's been amazing to see the family grow such strong links.
I have to say, that's the one thing that we're very proud of. We're trying to engage our community as best as we can in what we do here, and in supporting the community in any way we can. So we're really thrilled. I'm particularly happy with Sean and Mallory, my youngest son, and his girlfriend, who've got quite engaged with the local community in many ways. They're sitting on some boards, but they also participate in some of the events over here. And we've let them use our compound, to sell their garlic and that type of thing. Is anything we can do. We want to be part of the community, and we want them to feel like we're part of them. And it's been really a good experience for us, and we want to do better. And if the community has any ideas, we're open to those.
For vineyard manager Pete, the give and take between the winery and the community is everything.
For us out here, it's really key. We need to have, even if there's one member from a family out here, the hours are so odd sometimes, and the harvest times are so different, and we have to have families that are able to sort of either all work together out here, which some of them, we've got sometimes 3 or 4 generations from one family out here, or we need to have families that are supportive at home too, for people to be gone for a 12-hour day of picking and harvesting. And it's so we find that we rely a lot on local families who are close by to here for our picking crew and for a lot of our labor throughout the season. And it's a key to our success, I think, too, that we have such good support from the locals and the families around here.
The immediate community isn't the only group that supports the winery. From the moment they took over, the Sky Club has been a key part of the family.
So we have our wine club, which we've doubled since we've taken ownership. So we've had a lot of enthusiasm around that. So basically our wine club is 4 releases a year. So March, June, September, December. You get 4 bottles of wine. Depending on which wines are in the release, it's between $80 and $120 plus tax, and gives them access to, some unreleased stuff, some library wines that we've kind of, were once available and then are tucked away now. They also get 10% off of any additional wines or merchandise or anything they purchase, free tastings, so just some other little perks.
For Sean, the enhanced exclusive relationship is very special.
Not everybody gets to come in all the time and lives locally enough, but there are some Sky Club members that are very familiar, and they come multiple times a summer, and that's really wonderful because we get to know them a little bit more personally than just their name on a card and that sort of thing. So they get free tastings, they get free desserts. There is lots of benefits to it, but I think they love the vibes of the winery either way. Whether they were a Sky Club member or not, they would come visit because they see how relaxing our atmosphere is compared to some of the ones that might be more off the main drag. Ours is definitely off the beaten path. And even though we have been getting busier and busier, we still have our slice of heaven that is really peaceful. So, but yeah, the Sky Club is a pretty awesome wine club thing, and they have exclusive wines that the public may never ever see, and that's definitely true for some of the wines they just received, like the Sauvignon Blanc. I think we pretty well sold out just yesterday when we released it. So that's great, and I think we're down to 20 bottles maybe. And I know as soon as some of the members that didn't make it to the pickup party and that once they get to try it, they'll be scooping up those last and really, really quickly. So it is. It's a great exclusive sort of club, and I know at some point here it's going to max out, and that makes me sad because obviously you want everybody to be able to join, but when we're doing small lots, that's sometimes all you can do. You can't make more. It's just whatever grapes are out there, whatever we harvest, and whether it's the sparkling or those small ones we get from farmers like Cape House Vineyards, where we can only do 350 bottles. That's all you got. So if each member buys 2 bottles, it's quickly gone. It's getting close to the point where it's happening. We've been growing it pretty quickly, and as people start to taste the wines and then see some of the exclusives that they can't get their hands on, they're like, maybe I should join in before it's too late. So yeah, it's exciting.
One of the perks of membership is the pickup party, which COVID has delayed.
We haven't been able to have any pickup parties the last couple of years because of COVID, of course, and restrictions and numbers, etc. We've had a couple modified where we've booked times over the past, I think the last 2. So this, the 12th, will be our first actual official grand reopening pickup party. And so we're really looking forward to that, yeah.
After nearly 2 years of ownership and lockdown being the norm, the Cotino family is finally able to welcome their biggest advocates. It's a chilly Sunday afternoon, but the winery is buzzing with activity.
Excuse me. I'm not sure if you guys can all hear me. My voice carries as well in here as it would have many years ago when this operated as a church. I'm just going to take a couple minutes because I'm trying to greet everybody as you come in the door, and it's been great to be able to see all of you face to face. Thank you so much for coming out today. For those of you who I haven't had a chance to meet, my name is Carl Catino. I'm one of the owners here with my parents, my brother, and my wife. We've got our fearless staff and team, our winemaker Ben here, helping us carry this through. But honestly, happy holidays. Cheers. Thanks for coming out. Have a great time. Cheers.
For the winery, this kind of relationship with customers is vitally important. It allows an open dialogue.
We've worked within the rules to have events, but none like this, none like getting the group together, smiling faces. It just lined up perfectly with the holidays and this time of year when you want to be with friends and family. So no, it's been absolutely perfect. But yeah, it's well overdue, and that seems to be the same vibe I'm picking up from all the customers as they're coming in. And it's great to hear, great to see. It's a great way for people who love our wines to get a chance to come out, try them, see each other, network, the things that people have all been missing for about, a good part of 2 years with the pandemic, and get to try the wines. And so today they all get complimentary wine, they all get complimentary food, they get a chance to, chat with the owners, tell us what they like and dislike, what they'd like to see different, get to meet the winemaker. And it really just becomes, it's really a novel group to be part of. Some people have been part of it for many years, some are brand new, and some like it for different reasons. Some get 4 bottles of wine and they sock it away in a cellar, and some get 4 bottles of wine and they're empty by the time the next 4 come in, right? So it all depends, and but it also gives you those customers that have been around long enough that they can tell you, hey, I like this vintage. It wasn't as good as maybe 2 years ago, or maybe they'll tell you, we really enjoyed such and such a varietal one year. Can you bring that wine back? And it means, not that it doesn't mean anything when you hear from any other customer, but when you hear from a customer that's buying, minimum 16 bottles of wine from you every year that are in a different, either rosés or whites or sparklings or reds, or, if they're telling you, hey, this was good, can you bring that back? It becomes something that we can take that intel, chat with our winemaker, see what grapes we can harvest and what else we can create to keep our membership happy. These are critical events to our success because it really, these folks leave here hopefully with a lasting impression of a well-run business, run and by a nice family, and the wine's delicious. So at the end of the day, they're getting what they want, and they reconnect with us every 3 months. We'd love to have them, more often without any more interruptions going forward.
As they taste their new wines and get to know the family, the wine club guests are more than happy to share their love.
A group of our friends, we came here on a wine tour day one day, and we visited different wineries and enjoyed it. And I think we came back a second time and enjoyed some more charcuterie and wine, and so I just thought, you know what, I like their wine, I'm gonna treat myself. Enjoy it. And I was always going along with her and enjoying the wine, and she said to me one day, she's like, you buy quite a bit of wine, maybe you should think about joining. So yeah, I was like, yeah, good idea. So yeah.
Well, in all honesty, there was a wine that I wanted that wasn't available to the general public, and it was unfortunately sold out, but I was told that in future releases there might be also something that was something similar, so that's why I joined.
I like the idea of supporting the wine industry in Nova Scotia, and it's pretty down here too. It's really pretty dry. I scoffed a couple of bottles of drops of amber in a basket over there, the last of. So I'm like, yes, going in my stocking this Christmas.
It's so welcoming here, and we love the patio and the little restaurant. It's so beautiful to come and sit out here, and they have a nice menu, but they change it up and add something on a regular basis. So, of course, then they'll post that online, and you see it, and you thought, oh, we need to go again.
Well, I think it's extremely important, and it feels really good that we can support local and that the wineries that are popping up in and around the area, it's like a mini Niagara region, and to continue to support and grow the wineries in the area, in particular Avondale Sky. It's a great spot, great facility. Wine's fantastic. We really enjoy it.
The family, they're just so friendly and welcoming, and I don't know, I just enjoy coming here. There's charcuterie. We like that. Like, I don't know. I know it's like they know people's names in a very short period of time, and just makes you feel welcome.
Well, I just met Janet yesterday. She's a good friend of mine, and I'm new to Nova Scotia. So I came out to meet her, and she brought me here. And I love the Sauvignon. And then I was going to buy some, and I had to become a member. So I did, and here I am again. 2 days out of 2 days.
So we decided, because all we really knew about wine is, oh, I like it or I don't like it. So we thought perhaps it's time to learn. Because truly we're not educated. So we are learning, and it's wonderful. And what it has done is like, what? We just bought a bottle of wine that was $75. We've never done that in our life. I went from not liking any red into suddenly advancing, and now I like the Newport, and then the Newport Reserve, and then I've discovered that I really do like the more expensive wines.
It's about the taste, and you really get, there's a specific flavor in all the wine, and they're very well balanced, and these are mainly the reason why we love the wine and why we became members of the winery. But I must also say that there's another reason why we became members of the club. It's after these guys took the business, because we knew the winery before they took the business, but after they took the business, they kind of transformed it into something more like a community. And this is what I like. Like the first time we came after they took the business, it was like they had a new menu, new food, very tasty food, food mainly coming from different local businesses, and I really enjoyed it. And their father took us on a tour. It was very very simplistic, kind of family, and basically this all convinced us to say, okay, like we just love the place, so let's become members.
And it's not just club members here. Andre has a vineyard near Mahone Bay, about 90 minutes away, and supplies the winery.
Yeah, we're strictly growers, so we don't have our own winery. We do keep a few $100 for ourselves just to make our own amateur wine, including our own Carboy Sauvignon Blanc. But, we really liked partnering with Avondale Sky because we're a very small vineyard, and they're a smallish winery. And they're very informal, really nice. And when we first started to think about establishing a vineyard back in 2012, we had a few good tips and pointers from Ben here and the previous owners. And so they're really, really nice. And the new owners are really nice. So, it seems to be a match made in heaven. There's a lot of work to growing grapes in Nova Scotia. I mean, while we do have a suitable climate, we do have suitable soils, you still have to do a lot because this is really a marginal area in terms of it's a fairly cold growing area. So we do have to put a little bit more effort into ripening the fruit. So given the amount of work that we put into it, to see it being appreciated is phenomenal, actually. It really does make our day.
Chef Dom was excited to be called in to create some special dishes to pair with the wine.
My name is Dominic Padula, and I'm here with Food Fantastic. And I'm here today as a collaboration with the Avondale Sky Winery, and I'm supplying the food for the event, for the wine club event. So the theme of it was like amuse-gueule, like kind of like just having like a Christmas celebration to go with the wine. So we we had a meeting and we come up with a menu that was going to go well with the wine. So what we served today was a homemade gravlax salmon that was marinated with local gin and mustard, local honey, sugar and dill and salt. So that was marinated for 48 hours, like just to get that nice taste of the salmon. And it was served on the homemade crostini with like dill and capers and pickled red onion. Then also we decided to go with Pacora and some Indian flavor to go with one of the wine that they had that was really good. So we made like homemade Pacora with local root vegetables. And then we had local charcuterie from and local cheese. And we finished with an Italian appetizer that is a eggplant called capona. And that is like a eggplant that is cooked with tomato, celery, caper, olives, and just served cold, nice, and it's nice and acidic. It is like always one of the fun exercises, pairing the food, and because they have the wine made, and it's always like, okay, let's think outside the box with the food, and what can we do outside the box that like will complement the wine and also open the ears and the eyes of the people about what can be done. Like, most people don't think that Pacora and wine or Indian food and wine goes well together. And yet, like, it was a perfect pairing. So as a chef, it's like tasting the wine. It's like which spice and how to spice up the food that it will not be overpowering. So it's always a nice challenge that I enjoy.
For winemaker Ben, it's been a fun exercise.
It's always fun working with different chefs too, because we've had a few different chefs through in the kitchen here, and guest chefs and caterers as well. And so this is the first time I've actually got to enjoy something that Dom's prepared specifically for the wine club. And he came out and met with Sean and myself just to chat about what the wines were, and he got to taste through the wines. And then I didn't have to give him too much advice. He knows what he's doing. Just a couple of warnings here or there, like with this I would avoid these particular things, and but he had a pretty clear vision of what he thought he would want to do based on tasting through the 4 wines. So it's nice to see it all come together. And once everybody's through here, I look forward to tasting through it myself.
And as soon as the wine club got a chance to hang out with Ben, they were desperate to find out what's next.
A lot of the comments are just sort of like, oh, I really like this one, or oh, like I think I like this vintage better, or and then a lot of people are just curious, like what new and weird or different things are coming, like what have you got tucked away down in the cellar, and I don't like to talk too much about it because you never know how things are going to turn out sometimes, and like I've got a few things that I think will be neat and interesting, but I want to make sure that I finish them off proper first before I talk too much about them.
As the bottles of wine vanish and the Sky Club members head home, it's time for reflection.
We're really pleased with the turnout. Didn't expect to see this many people come for the pickup, but that's really, it's made our day, actually. It's been superb. A lot of good, I'd say good 75% of the people have come to pick up their wine. That's tremendous. Yeah. Whenever you're planning something like this, you're never sure how much do you plan for food, but it was an open invitation to our members. It's been long coming, 2 years of Spartan pickups. This makes up for it. If we can keep our community engaged and happy and participating in these events, I hope they'll come out and when they're thinking of an afternoon or a weekend or bringing friends over, that they think of us, amongst others. I mean, there are some beautiful wineries. Our sister wineries are quite spectacular as well. But we like to think that we've got something to offer here in terms of the scenery, the family-run business. I think we've got something special here.
It was nice. They enjoyed the food, they enjoyed the wine, they enjoyed even seeing each other, because some of these Sky Club members have been members for quite some time. Some are newer ones that have come in since we've purchased the winery. So it's been really nice for them to see what it's like as well. I get to put a face to a name, because otherwise, if they didn't come in, it would just be a name to me unless I knew them personally. So this way, it's really nice. I would think it's a big success. I never like to say 10 out of 10, but a 9.5 out of 10 is pretty good where I'm concerned, but I want to get to the 10.
The family know that together they've built something really special.
We're a boutique winery. And so, right now we produce about 5,000 cases a year. That's what we can handle for our space. I think that is our niche. I think people enjoy and appreciate the boutique feel, the history of the church, and then our family now and our story. People who come and see us so hands-on and see 4 owners. I'm not there as much as I'd like to be because I'm here with my little family. But I think people really see that and really appreciate that and really feel that.
The excitement and passion comes from the knowledge that the best is yet to come.
We had a tour that came this summer from Antigonish. We actually all happened to be there that day. The kids had set up a lemonade stand and they were selling lemonade, and all the people were coming and they were like, you guys are the sweetest little things. Sean was out giving his guided tasting. Louis and Avila are waiting the tables, and Carl, and it's just really nice. And I think people really appreciate that. And I think especially after the last couple of years that we've had, just being close and having that closeness with each other. And I think that was Carl's big thing too, when we were buying this, was that to have this, working towards this, A, it doesn't feel like work when you love it, and B, to have it, to know that it's going to go to your children, it makes it completely different than just a regular job.
It was not even. There was no concept of being in any kind of business. My intention was to sort of retire and do something just mundane. I didn't want to be sitting behind a desk. I didn't want to be doing any good, productive work. I just wanted to do something purely mundane. So hobby farm came to mind, and so this is a farm. It's not a hobby. It's definitely, but I'm treating it as a hobby. It's fun for me, nevertheless.
The thing I'm most proud of is the skills that we all bring, the enthusiasm, and of course, my sons and daughter-in-law, and the fact I get to see my grandchildren and I see them looking to harvest in the vineyard. I mean, that is so beautiful to get kids that excited about being in nature.
The long-term plan is, we look at it as a family-run business now, and we continue to hope it always is a family-run business. And my kids will, they love the winery. They love going to the winery. And Daddy went from being dressed up in suits and ties when he was leaving, and that, Dad, are you going to Toronto? Are you going to a meeting? To I'm leaving in jeans, and are you going to the winery? I could be going anywhere, leaving the house, especially during the last 2 years. And like, are you going to the winery? And they want to come. They don't mind that it's a 40-minute drive. They love getting there. They love seeing their family when they're there. They love seeing vino, of course. And then if you find that bone in your body that says, you know what, I want to learn business, or I want to learn marketing, or I want to learn event planning, those options are all possibilities with us, or right into agriculture, right? Like there's all kinds of cool things that we're still learning every day. So, for us, we're building our future every day.
Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed the story, and we look forward to meeting you in person at the winery.
If you'd like to follow us on any of our social media platforms, please visit us at avondalesky.com. And we look forward to sharing a glass with you at beautiful Newport Landing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This has been a Podstarter production.